What's up? What's up? What's up? We're back. Oh, I say we, but it's really me. Apologies from Vegeta. He won't be joining me today. So I guess I'm alone today doing the stream. Um, interesting. What's in store for Manchester United? What is in store for us? I mean, it's one thing. Um, it's one thing not knowing what's going on, right? It's another thing when you have people who don't know what's going on that give their opinion. And then you have me that comes and speaks on people that's giving the report. That what's going on here? Hectic. What's going on? What's going on? Let me just see what's going on here. Oh, there we go. Sorry about that. I do apologize. I think I should restart the stream. Amateur, amateur hour, everybody. But yeah, so at the moment, things are looking crazy right now for us. Things are looking absolutely crazy. There's chat about Bruno leaving. There's chat about everybody leaving. Um, everybody's for sale. I beg the question: if everybody's for sale, who's gonna play? If they need me to come play, they must invite me. They can invite me. I'm not that fit, uh, so they must give me. They must allow me like just a month to train. But give me a month. I'm there. Preseason, I'm there, guys. I'm there. If you want me to play right back, I'm play right back. Centre back, no problem. Midfield, no problem. Wingers, I can be a strike. I can be whatever you want me to be, bro. I can even be a water boy. You know what I mean? I can be a reserve if you want me to be a reserve. Because if you're gonna sell ammo, then Owens, hit me up. Hit me up. Holla at your boy. Bro, I'm literally here, lamming on YouTube. I can add value on the field. You know what I mean? You know what I'm good at? Come and tell you. When I'm on the field now, my mouth's always open, man. I'm always talking. So I can bring that, that energy. Because if you're gonna sell everybody, who is gonna play? All right. And then you have Bruno with an interview coming out and says he's leaving. So begs the question: is Bruno leaving? Another topic: Jadon Sancho cooking in the Champions League semi-final, looking like he's going to the final. Hey, bro, bro, Jadon Sancho's going to the final. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about Jadon Sancho maybe going to the final, cooking absolute. My brother sent me a message. My brother sent me a message last night saying Jadon Sancho's cooking with oil and butter, bro. Looking absolutely sensational. I have very strong feelings on Jadon Sancho. So we're gonna talk about Jadon Sancho. Then we're gonna talk about the report that came out yesterday. Eric Ten Hag staying from the Telegraph, saying that there was a report that says that in Manchester United and Ineos insist that they're planning for Ten Hag next season. And that sounds like a brief. Sounds like the club put that out there. And if the club put that out there, then um, I mean, the club is saying it was coming from the horse's mouth, unless they're lying. Um, they literally they're literally setting themselves up because I mean, it's one thing to say um, we're planning for with the manager next season, and then a month later say you sacked. Then everybody knows now why were you planning with the manager when you weren't planning for the manager, right? But you will see that there's a caveat with that, which I think they're leaving open to interpretation, which I think is dangerous. Because number one, if you say everybody's for sale, then everybody's for sale. Now you have players that can be cynical and they can say, okay, if I'm for sale, then I'm not going to show up. Why must I want to win the FA Cup? Why must I want to play against Arsenal? Why must I do all of these 110 things? Why must I do my job, basically? And then you have another thing where you're saying if the manager's performances don't look great, then he's also going to be sacked. So it's interesting the times that we're in at the moment because at the you you that doesn't fill me with confidence per se. Right? Doesn't fill me with confidence to say that every player is going to go out and try and play for the contract. We know that players, when they are up for contract renewal or contract extension, or when they're up because they now need to play for their future. They tend to play well. Now, if they're going to play well, you remember Willian? Willian, when he was up for a contract, he was unstoppable. He was literally unstoppable. So, another player, Rashford, last season, up for a contract, 30 goals. This season, got his contract, not half as good. Literally, not even half as good. I think he has 8 goals a season, which is nuts. Which is absolutely nuts. And so, if you're going to tell players, look, play for a contract, what's the point of giving them a contract if you can't, if you don't know what's going to come in the future? For example, you give the player a contract, the player comes, he gets a contract, and then doesn't do well at all. He gets his let's say 120 grand a week, because I assume that Ineos is going to make sure that nobody's going to be overpaid. And he gets his contract, and all of a sudden, I got my contract I wanted, I made it. What's the point of playing? So it's kind of interesting. I don't know if it's necessary though. Like, I don't know if this is necessary, and I'm a bit side eye at the moment with regards to Ineos. But let's talk about Bruno Fernandes and talk about what oh no, yeah, let's talk about Bruno Fernandes and what was actually said. I'm going to use a source, Fabrizio. I'm going to use Fabrizio. I'm going to use him. So as you can see, it says Bruno Fernandes, my future at the moment. I feel both me and the club want to continue together. First statement: I feel me and the club want to continue together. That's extremely important, right? That's extremely important to know that him and the club wants to continue together, because he gets the feeling, right? He has the feeling as like being in a relationship, right? Me and my partner. Now, I'm single, so but me and my partner, which is a girl, because I ain't no daddy here. But me and my girlfriend or my wife, we feel that we want to continue this relationship. All right. And Bruno Fernandes is saying, my future at the moment, all right, based on the information that's available to me, all right, both of us want to continue together. We want to stay in this relationship. I agree with that, because he's the captain. He was the captain. He was made captain this season. Last season, he was interim captain and he won a trophy. If Bruno Fernandes wins the FA Cup this season, that's literally 2 seasons. Every season that he was captain, he won a trophy. That's a crazy record. That record is actually crazy. So, Bruno Fernandes, my future at the moment, I feel both me and the club want to continue together. All right. He goes on to say, I'm not thinking about the future. If you want me to be very honest, if I have to think about not staying, it won't be until after the FA Cup final and the Euros. All right. Reminder that this interview was done in Portuguese. Now, when it comes to translating the Portuguese to English, people can take things out of context. All right. Now, tonality and context is very important when it comes to statements like this. Because statements like this, I can read this in, I'm not thinking about my future. I'm not thinking about my future, right? I can read that. I'm not thinking about my future. And you want to be really honest, double down and say, to the point where this season, right now, and after the Euros, is not even a thought in my mind. All right. I'm probably going to stay. But double downing on the fact that he's focused on right now. He's focused on the next couple of games and focused on the FA Cup final and focused on the Euros. All right. So translating, understanding context is very important. You need to understand the context he's speaking in. Right. We can't ignore the first statement. The first statement, he says, my future at the moment, I feel both me and the club want to continue together. That's the first statement. That's the premise of what he's talking about. The premise on what he's talking about. For example, I can premise this. He can premise this and say, I'm not happy at the football club. All right. But the premise is, I want to continue. Both can be true. I'm not happy with the way things are being run at the moment. I'm not happy with the fact that we are in sixth position. I'm not happy about the fact that we were knocked into the Champions League in the group stages. I'm not happy about the fact that we couldn't compete in the Carabao. Big up Kenny. You are right. John, Bruno is fully focused on the remaining games in FA Cup final. Facts. So at the moment, what we're seeing right now is that his premise of his conversation on the topic is that He is happy, and the feeling at the moment is that the club is also happy with him. He was literally made captain this year. It's going to be very, very surprising. And also, he's under contract. So if he's under contract and he's if he's under contract and he's captain, it's a no-brainer what's going to happen. Literally a no-brainer. Literally a no-brainer. He's a fan favorite. Bruno is a fan favorite. And you can't doubt that. Bruno Fernandes is a fan favorite. So before we write stories and before we go on a tangent and before we make up our own nonsense in our head about what we think is going to happen and what we want to happen, because oftentimes we build up a bias and an agenda based on how we feel towards something and towards someone. So now we don't like Bruno Fernandes. We don't agree with that he's one of the best players in the league. We don't like the fact that he's our captain. We don't like the fact that he's always throwing up his hands and he's always getting under the refs and he's always shouting at players. We don't like all of that. Now we build up a case as to why we don't like him. Now all of a sudden he says, if I have to leave, it will be after. Whoa, Bruno Fernandes is leaving. Praise the Lord. No, man. No, man, now you're completely misleading Amo. You're now misleading everybody because you want people to believe your bias. You can't want people to believe your bias if your bias is not right. If your bias is that Bruno Fernandes shouldn't be captain, then your bias should stay within the boundaries of Bruno Fernandes shouldn't be captain, not make up stories that Bruno Fernandes is leaving and I don't like him as a captain. So, very important for us to understand that Bruno Fernandes premises his conversation at my future. At the moment, I feel both me and the club want to continue together. Simple as factual statements. Going on then to say that he's fully focused on the next couple of games, even though the next couple of games is dead rubbers besides the FA Cup final. Because of the fact that we are probably going to end up in Europa League, the play teams under us isn't as consistent as we think they are. Newcastle, they winning and then they lose and they draw. Regardless of our position, we are the same. And it's all down to injuries. All down to injuries. Brighton is not going anywhere. They're going to stay where they are. We might be able to if we win our games, we can take on Tottenham. We can because I don't think Tottenham's going to win until the second last game of the season. I think it's important for us to understand that what Bruno Fernandes says in this interview is that I'm fully focused on the next couple of games. Now, I'm not saying that in some way he's not going to leave, right? Anything can happen. Someone can come in with a major bid. His family can say, Bruno Fernandes, we want you back in Portugal. Bruno, I think that if Real Madrid comes in, or Barcelona comes in, or Atletico Madrid comes in, and they say, boom, here's 100 million. All right? Then, and his family's like, okay, we want to move to Spain. It's better culture. I'm feel like I'm gonna get loved better there, or I think it's gonna be a better move for my career. Bro, if that's what you want, I mean, do it, bro. But we can't make up our own stories to say that Bruno Fernandes is leaving because we can do that with any player. We can do that even with Garnacho, because Garnacho is Argentinian. If Real Madrid come in tomorrow and say, we want to give you the number 7 shirt, we don't think Vinny Jr. is going to stay here, Vinny Jr. is going to leave to PSG or whatever, and they come to Garnacho and say, we want you to be the face of Real Madrid, and Garnacho says yes, there's nothing that we can do but accept the money and say that he's going to stay. There's nothing that we can do. Unless, because that player is going to go on strike, that player is going to force his way out of the club. So, it's not impossible that Bruno Fernandes leaves. Oh, sorry, it's not impossible. Yeah, it's not impossible that Bruno Fernandes leaves. Right? It's not impossible. He can leave. It's possible that he can leave. But it's also very, very likely that he stays. And that's important for us to understand. That it's very, very likely that he stays. Extremely likely that he stays. Because, I mean, Mata said it now a couple weeks ago. And this is the thing, bro. Like, literally, this is the thing. If we listen to ex-players, right? I feel like we only listen to ex-players when they suit our narrative. When you see a person like Gary Neville talking, or Roy Keane's clip went viral the other day. Bruno Fernandes hasn't won anything. Bruno Fernandes is not a winner. When Ian Wright on the other hand saying that he is a winner. He has high expectations. Now you have two opinions, but people gravitate to the negative because that's what I want to believe. Yes, he didn't win anything. Well, that's factually incorrect because you won a Carabao Cup. Now, I know a Carabao Cup is nothing to write home about, but if you're talking about facts, the fact is he won something. The fact is that he hasn't been playing in a great team. When we bought him, it was under Ollie. And then he had Ollie as a manager, then he had Rangnick, then now he has Ten Hag. He had three managers. A healthy club doesn't have three managers and win stuff. Definitely not. Even Chelsea. Bruno Fernandes has been here now, I think 3 seasons. Came in 2021. Maybe this is his fourth season. But he's under contract. So the thing is, right, is that people gravitate towards the negative and make up their own narratives regarding it. Right? And it goes like that with players, with managers, with fans, with anything actually. If your narrative and if your bias is Bruno Fernandes is the best player in the world and you're not going to tell me anything, then Bruno Fernandes is going to be the best player in the world. And everybody that agrees with you, you're going to pick them up. And everybody that doesn't agree with you, you're going to disrespect. Simple as. That is the world that we live in. The world that we live in today is that you must agree with my truth. You must agree with my truth. And if my truth says that Bruno Fernandes is leaving, Bruno Fernandes is leaving. And whatever comes against me, yay, shut up. Shut up. Right? So it's important for us to understand that. It's important for us to understand that Bruno Fernandes premises his statement with I feel both me and the club want to continue together. I feel both me and the club want to continue together. And that is from Fabrizio Romano. Right? So it's important for us to understand that. Okay, before we get our knickers in it, before we cry, because I was very concerned. I won't lie, I was very, very concerned. A couple of days ago when I heard, was it yesterday? Feels like a couple of days. When I heard that he was leaving, very, very concerned because that's not what I would like. I would really like him to be a part of the future next season. Especially when we're going to get rid of so many players, so many deadwood players. And especially when you can have players like Martinez come back. I don't think Martinez is an injury prone player. I mean, he played most of last season, so I would expect him to play. Majority of next season's games. And it's important for us to get another centre back because we getting Varane is not having his contract renewed. Very, very clear. He's not going to renew his contract. You have between Lindelof and Maguire probably both leaving, either one leaving or both leaving, which is good, but also concerning because if you have only youngsters and new people, what does next season look like? Is it gonna be another rebuild season? So that's very, very interesting. Like, so yeah. So moving on then. So we understand that, right? We understand that Bruno Fernandes and the club wants to continue together. That's from his mouth. That's what he wants. Okay. Then we have last night, Jadon Sancho. First of all, Jadon, I want to give you a round of applause. Brother, Jadon. 99 touches. This is from Statman Dave. All right. Statman Dave, big up you, bro. Let me just give you a follow. Sinjay, quiet. So Jadon Sancho came by numbers versus PSG. This is a semi-final at home against PSG in the UEFA Champions League. 99 touches, 51 passes completed, 12 out of 17 dribbles completed. The most in any game in the Champions League. 3 key passes, 1 big chance created. On this day, a joy to watch. Not gonna lie, he did cook. Jadon Sancho did cook. I was a bit kind of like, I was a bit kind of disappointed that he didn't get a goal or he didn't get an assist or he didn't get like, Jadon, between the two boxes, right? I always speak about between the two boxes and in the box because you get players that is fantastic between the two boxes, but they're not good in the box. And you get players like Marcus Rashford, who's horrible between the two boxes. But in the box, lethal. Right? So between the two boxes, one touch passes, pass and move, dribble, 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 keep the ball, create another angle. That's beautiful stuff. Absolutely fantastic stuff. I mean, there was times where he was gliding past people and they would expect him to turn and he didn't turn and then he went past him and he made a pass for a player in a different position and Dortmund was just keep going, keep going, keep going. Right? This was a very good game yesterday. A very good game. I thought PSG was unlucky to go into the game, to lose the game because I think they hit the ball twice with Kylian Mbappe and Hakimi. But Jadon Sancho was good. Fantastic. You have people like Vinny Jr. in his comments. What a player. What a player. And we can't ignore that Jadon Sancho is a good player. This is the reason why people were talking about him for 2 seasons. And this is the reason why Man United spent 70 million for him. And they quoted us 100 million. Because Jadon Sancho is a good player. He's a good footballer. But there is a but. There is a but. But Jadon Sancho attitude is terrible. Jadon Sancho, right, won't be able to play in, if you take this to rugby. Now, we South Africans love our rugby because we're fantastic at rugby. But if Jadon Sancho had to be a rugby player, Jadon Sancho wouldn't be in the Springbok squad. Because Jadon Sancho is a good player, he's not the right player. Why? Because Jadon Sancho's character and his attitude is poor. If you can't apologize, right, to your manager when you are told that you were wrong, then you have to question yourself. And the fact of the matter is that regardless how good you are, your attitude is always going to weigh heavier than how good you are because you're never always going to be on your game 100%. You're never going to be on your game 100%. You're never ever going to be on your game every single game fantastic. Every single game fantastic. Look at this now. This is now crazy. So, what's going on today? People never phone me. Some of them phone me now. Okay, people always phone me. But let's just say I'm busy. But anyway, so you never always gonna be on your game 100% of the time, right? But the problem is that if you have the right, or not the problem, based on the fact that you're never gonna be on your game 100%, if you have a good character and a good personality, when you off maybe by 30% and you're only giving output of 70%, your character and your attitude makes up for the rest. So the manager knows that I can trust you when you're not playing well. Even when your passes aren't going to be on target. Even when you're going to misplace a pass. Even when you're going to make a mistake. Even when your dribble is not going to come off. Even when your quick feet is not going to come off. Even when you're going to shoot most of the poles. I know that you're going to work hard. I know that you're going to give everything for the team. I know that you're going to listen to instruction. I know that you're going to try and do what I ask you to do because it's a team sport and not a single sport. It's not boxing. It's not about I, it's about we. It's not about me, it's about we. Right? Someone said, there's no I in team, but there's a me. Now, that only applies to Lionel Messi. And even Lionel Messi needed a Xavi and an Iniesta behind him and a Busquets. Right? Because, yes, he can make those dribbles, but someone has to defend for you. Someone has to cover your space. Someone has to pick up a man. Someone has to run in behind and take a player away from your running line. That has to happen. And if your attitude and your character is off, people's not going to want to do that for you. The manager said Jadon Sancho didn't train well. Now, if you can't do well in training, what does it tell the manager that you're going to do on the field on Saturday? It's important to understand that if you can't be on top in training, you can't expect to play every game. And that was the problem. Dortmund loves Sancho because Dortmund isn't a club that's fighting for leagues. They are a club that loves a cup run. They won a trophy with Jude Bellingham. at the stadium? Or not shoot? Or was it Sancho and Erling? I know Sancho won a trophy there by Dortmund, a cup. But they don't fight for leagues. Dortmund is fifth in the league, and they got good news because Champions League in Germany get you fourth, get you to Champions League. So Dortmund isn't a club that's gonna challenge the league. They're a selling club. They're a club that develop players and sell players, develop players, sell players, and try and go on a cup run. Try and win honors through developing players. Adeyemi. And you look at the players that they produce. Jude Bellingham. He went there, became better, left for a bigger club. Erling Haaland went there, became better, left for a bigger club. Even Jadon Sancho went there, left for a bigger club. Gundogan left for a bigger club. The only person, Lewandowski, left for a bigger club. The only person you can say that stayed at Dortmund was Marco Reus. So Dortmund isn't the club that people look at and have their eyes fixed on them. When it comes to United, bro, microscope, bro. Microscope, microscope, Microsoft. Microscope settings. It's a microscope number. Seriously, bro. Honestly, Onana wasn't having a good time. He dropped his keys. It was news. What? You drop your keys as news. You drop your keys as news, bro. Nah, bro. Nah. So we have to take this performance, right? And say that we know that you can do this. But it's the other thing. It's the other thing. You can have a fantastic salesman. You can have a fantastic salesman. All right? But the salesman don't come salesman don't come to work on time. What's the point of having a fantastic salesman? If the salesman don't know how to speak to their colleagues or don't know how to appreciate and respect the authority, what's the point of that salesman? Because now what you're gonna do is you're gonna influence everybody else. And everybody at Manchester United in their head believes that they are a star. That's the reason why I love Kobe so much. Because Kobe is rustig. Kobe is calm. Kobe looks like a type of guy that you have a bit of a personality, but nobody needs to know. My brothers don't love Iron, but nobody needs to know. I'm a good player, but nobody really. It's not the normal. It's not. Kobe's calm. But everybody in the club, Harry Maguire, constantly in the media. He's a big deal. But he learned from that. He's changed now. Bruno Fernandes goes in the media, makes an interview. Does an interview. Ask him about his future. Generic thing to say. Me and the club wants to continue. If I'm going to leave, I have to be after the Euros. Makes the news. Scott McTominay makes the news. Mason Mount hasn't played this year. Plays in most of the season. Makes the news. Lissandro Martinez is too small. Makes the news. Everything that happens at United makes the news. And not just the middle. Front page, bro. Or back page because it's newspaper. But everybody's talking about it. It gets clicks. Literally gets clicks. The fact that Jadon Sancho had a good performance, people are talking about United. People are talking about United. Rightfully or wrongfully so, people are talking about United. Forgetting the fact that he was there. Forgetting the fact that he cooked like this before. And this is not new. The fact is, Jadon Sancho is not older. Jadon Sancho is better as a player. Because he's older. He's much more understanding. He has much more IQ on the game. But it's your character, bro. But it's your character. If you can't come to the party character-wise, there's no point, fam. There's literally no point. There is no point in this whole performance. Because this is the best that you can do. Well, not the best that you can do. I'm sure you can go higher. Because you're a good player and you're young. So I'm sure the ceiling is higher. But what about the times when you're not playing well? We have to take the good with the bad. And the bad is very bad. And the good is very good. So, are we going to say look, I'm not going to take a risk on you because I can't expect you to put in performances like these constantly, or you're gonna say, you know what, um, I don't mind you being toxic. That's the issue. I don't mind you being toxic because if you tell me we're gonna be toxic, then and I accept that, and I must accept what's gonna come from that. I must accept you coming late for meetings. I must accept that you don't do well in training. I must accept that you don't. If something happens to you, you won't apologize. I must accept that. As a person, as a manager, ain't no way I'm accepting that, bro. Ain't no way I'm accepting that. So it's important for us to understand that where we are at the moment is okay. I think it's better. Where we are at the moment is that you can have a good game, you can have a fantastic game, but at the end of the day, sell him, sell him. So don't want him, bro. Win the Champions League, bro. Cook your way to the Champions League final. Cook your way into the Euro team. Cook your way into that, bro. Just rack up the price. As soon every dribble from now onwards cost 5 million. So you had 12 dribbles. That is already 60 million on the what you call that? Because we're making such a big thing about dribbles. So every dribble's 5 million, bro. Every dribble's 5 million. So dribble, brother. Dribble. A goal, 7 million. Heck. End of the day, we could sell him for a record fee, bro. A record fee. Jadon Sancho to Dortmund. Here we go, 100 million. Why not? You guys want him, and you're gonna make. 70 million is not good. That's not. It's not little. I mean, it's not a lot. 70 million. I mean, you charged us 70 million, so we can charge you 100 because you're getting a better player than what you sold us in the beginning, initially. You know. So yeah, Jadon Sancho, do your thing, my brah. Do your thing. Cook your way to that final. Win the final. By all means, do your thing, bro. Do your thing. Cook your way into the Euro squad. Win the Euros also. Get a Southgate. Do your thing. Literally do your thing. But when it comes to time to talk about transfers, I want to see three figures. I want to see figures, bro. I want to honestly see figures. So, very good game yesterday, Jadon Sancho. I think you did well. But let's not get it twisted. Apologize to Tinag. We can have a conversation. That's the beauty. That's the beauty, though. That's the terms and conditions, as they say. Apologize. Come and say, look, Tinag, I'm sorry. Not even in front of people, because Tinag's not like that. Tinag, I'm sorry. I was moving mad, but yeah, I think that you, I think that you were right. Not you were right, but I was moving mad, and I'm sorry for how I acted. I shouldn't have acted like that. Don't admit that you were wrong if that's not what you want to do. Um, so yeah, apologize if you need to. Next, we have the big news. The big news. Manchester United continue to insist they are planning with Ten Hag for next season. Ineos believe that United's executive team above Ten Hag did not provide him with the greatest chance to succeed. The lack of clear alternatives, the cost of firing him, and hiring a replacement is also factored into Ten Hag's favor. Right. Now, I want to read you something that I got. Not that I got. Whoa. Because I got nothing. Fabrizio post in the last couple of minutes. I was actually quite shocked when I heard this. So, Ralf Ragnick, breaking. Ralf Ragnick will not become new Bayern manager. Decision made. Whoa. Decision made. Like it's clear. Decision made. You know that? Decision made. I will not be manager. Decision made. Not, I might be not be manager. Decision made, bro. Ralph Ragnick. The same Ralph Ragnick is telling us we need open heart surgery. The same Ralph Ragnick that said that when Ben Jacobs said that he's not good enough, the same Ralph Ragnick is not going to Bayern, not because Bayern don't want him, because he don't want Bayern. That is the manager market at the moment. Listen, Rangnick was one step away from getting the job, but decides to continue with Austria for personal reasons. Hold up. What? Austria is more attractive than Bayern. You don't want to go to Bayern, but you want to stay at Austria. You don't want to go to Bayern, but you want to stay at Austria. That's crazy. I'm the Austrian. This is him now, no? I'm the Austrian team coach with all my heart. Hi, mother. My mother's home. That's praise the Lord. My mother's home, bro. I would like to. Wait, let me start again. I'm rattled. My mother's home. That's crazy. Oh, Lord is good. Lord is good. Lord is good. She was in hospital. Now she's back. Praise the Lamb. Praise the Lamb. I am the Austrian team coach with all my heart. I would like to expressly emphasize that this is not a rejection of Bayern FC. Well, kinda is, bro. But rather a decision for my team and our common goals, as our full focus is on the Euros. So, but are you saying? But there's nothing for you to say, Bayern, relax. Wait for me. There's nothing for you to say, Bayern, wait for me. I'm willing to enjoy. I'm willing to join after the Euros. I can't talk to you right now, but after the Euros, let's talk. If you're willing to if you're still in the market for the manager, come to me, right? But if you're not in the market for the manager, brother, sorry, man. You know, if you're not in the market for the manager, all good. I can stay at Austria. But if you're in the market for the manager after the Euros, we can talk. Because let's be honest, Austria's not going anywhere. They're going to the Euros. They're going to go to the group stage. Luckily, they're going to get out of the group. And if there's a round of 16, they'll go to the round of 16. If there's a quarterfinal, they'll go to the quarterfinal. But there will be one step knockout safe. No, let's not get it. And let's not get it twisted, right? Now they say, yeah, this Xabi Alonso, Nagelsmann, and Rennick. Bayern must on favorite option again. Fabrizio asked, who should be the coach? Now, this is Bayern Munich, all right? Bayern Munich, all right? That is letting go of Thomas Tuchel, all right? That Thomas Tuchel is leaving, okay? Bayern Munich that bought King Min Jae because King Min Jae is a much better option than Manchester United. Bayern Munich that's in the semi-final of the Champions League against Real Madrid. Very, very likely to go through. Bayern Munich that has Harry Kane. Bayern Munich that wins every single league every season. Besides this season because Bayer Leverkusen is on some joke thing at the moment. Now, what does that say about Man United's current market pool? Man United's current manager pool that they can choose from. And don't tell me about a Gareth Southgate and a Graham Potter and a De Zerbi. No, 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 no. I want none of them. I want none of them. So if these people can't get Rangnick, what are we doing? As fans, do you realize what's happening right now? Do you realize, as fans, what's happening if Bayern Munich cannot get Rangnick? What do you think we're going to get if we sack this guy? The lack of clear alternatives should be the first one. Now, question I would like to know, all right? Who is this people chatting about? Gareth Southgate's on the list. Potter's on the list. The Zerbi's on the list. Tuchel's on the list. There's this magical list that's out there. When this is a clear brief from the club saying, guys, let's be fair, man. If you look at the manager pool out there, it's crazy. You want us to really go backwards. You are asking us to go backwards. based on what's happening before, based on what's happening right now, based on the mitigating circumstances, based on every single thing that happened in the last couple of years, based on last season, we in the third and got to Carabao, overachieved, right? All of a sudden, the manager overachieved. We're not going to credit that to the manager. He overachieved, right? I heard that Ten Hag doesn't get the best out of players. So now we're going to forget that Rashford had a 30-goal season last season in Ten Hag's first season. We're going to forget that. We're going to forget that when Harry Maguire was stripped of his captaincy, he all of a sudden became a way better player. We're going to forget that Aaron Wan-Bissaka last season was so good to the point where we were saying you can stay. Now he's back to being Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Are we going to forget all of these things, right? Are we going to forget that Alejandro Garnacho had an attitude problem, and now he's playing much better and he's playing every single game, even though sometimes he doesn't train because of injuries. Sometimes he's not able to train for the full week, but yet he still plays. That speaks to the manager's trust of him. Kobe, the manager brought through. Willie Kamboala, he had a fantastic game against Liverpool. Young player as well. Didn't have such a great game against Bournemouth. Are we now gonna forget all of these things? So let's not have amnesia as fans, man. Let's not have amnesia as fans. Let's stick to what we know. What we know is that this manager is a good coach. What we know is that this manager won us a trophy. And us as fans must stick behind him. Right? The caveat to this, though, is that they also say Ineos will not hesitate if they see sufficient evidence that a change of manager is needed. Right? Now, sufficient evidence is relative. That is hearsay. For example, sufficient evidence can be ending in the second half of the log or not getting Europa League. Sufficient evidence can be that the club wants to move in a different direction and he's now not complying with him. But every time we hear about reports, we hear that Ten Hag is impressive. He's really impressive. So that's interesting. I mean, what do you think? What do you think? I mean, if you're in the comments, if you're watching this video and you were not watching it live, I'm gonna say I only have 2 people here, which is fantastic. Thank you very much for joining me. For almost the whole video, which is fantastic. But yeah, please like the video, subscribe if you're new. What do you think? I mean, because at the end of the day, what is sufficient evidence? If you ask me, there's not enough evidence at all to sack the manager. If you ask me, there's enough evidence to give the manager a new contract. Because how did this guy get to 6th place? How is this man competing against all the big teams? How did we win Liverpool once a season and compete against him continuously throughout the league? Compete against him continuously throughout the league. Compete against him when they played against us. How do we do that? So, are we going to now forget the good that he's done because it suits our narrative? Or are we going to be reminded that at the end of the day, it's about progress. It's about progress. Let's be honest. It's about progress. Let's progress. Let's sign a new contract in yours. Put a statement down. We are happy with the manager. Here's a new contract for another 3 years. This is what we want to do. If we don't get there in the next 2 years, fair and well, but we tried because we as fans believe. I know. I was one of them. I wanted Ten Hag. All right? And I'm going to stick with Ten Hag because Ten Hag has done so much for me. Bro, yes, last season we were jolling with a trophy. Anthony and Martin is jolling here with Ten Hag. Ooh, I want to do that again, man. And no manager that's out there is gonna make me jol with a trophy. I see Tapelos here in the chat saying, I think Ten Hag has just lost control of the dressing room and is dealing with divas. Well, that's not wrong. He's got that very interesting style of play. His biggest issues to me is game management with subs. Now, I have an issue with that, right? First of all, I don't think he's lost the dressing room because we cannot go behind and then come back. Go behind and come back. I think that's one of the clear observations that is made when someone loses the dressing room, how a team capitulates. Now we are bad in moments, but then we're also fantastic in moments. Right? So I do agree that we have a bunch of divas. I do agree that we have a team that can't deal with setbacks easily. We have a team that struggles when it comes to dealing with setbacks. Right? So at the moment, that's the issue. They can't deal with setbacks, right? But when it comes to the dressing room, I think he is getting more than expected. Harry Maguire's playing well for me, right? Harry Maguire has every reason to down tools, as I say, because he's stripped of a captaincy. He wasn't played last season, and he can take it. So yeah, I'm only playing now because other man is injured. So how much I play for you? You know what I mean? So that's one thing. Another thing is game management and subs. What are the subs? What subs are available, bro? What subs are available? Ericsson, no legs. Ahmad, young player. Amrabat, who's a bus? Nah, bro. Nah, I don't know, but personally, I can't say that like his game management is poor because there's been a couple games where his game management was good. He brought Mount against Brentford. We played horrible, horrible, horrible. And what I wonder he loved that moment. And we scored. He scored a goal. He got the winning goal, but it wasn't a winner. We literally conceded the very next moment after that. So I don't I see what you're saying, although I just don't agree with the game management thing because I remember last season against Arsenal when we won 3-1. He brought in Ronaldo, game change. He brought in Ronaldo, game change. Right? Um, I see. To me, the only reason they come back is because they need their bonuses to not due to Ten Hag. Um, I don't know, bro. That don't sound right to me. Bonuses? I don't know. Maguire's probably the only gentleman in the dressing room, in my opinion. Well, Kobe, Bruno, Hoyland, um, Dallo, Onana. Nah, we have quite a few, bro. In my opinion, we have quite a few. Gran Onana. Onana's bro. Onana's my man. Even at Ajax, his game management has been bad, bro. In my opinion. Well, again, that's your opinion. If his game management was bad, in your opinion, what do you say when he wins the league every season? And we can't say it's a foregone conclusion for Ajax because Ajax has been terrible this season to the point where they want him back. To the point where they're waiting to see if he's going to leave and be sacked so that they can try and get him back because everybody else is going above them now. Literally. When he left a big hole there. And people don't understand the type of manager that Ten Hag is and how big of a hole that he's filling at United because of how many injuries that he had to deal with. So you say, of the senior players, of the senior players, like the ones that has been there. And that's the problem, bro. These senior players that's been here has sacked manager after manager. That has been the issue. That is the issue that we all as United fans have. All right. I'm not sure who you support, but if you speak to any United fan, all right, they will talk about the manager and how they don't like the manager. But they're very clear on all of these players. They're very clear on these players have to go. I heard somebody say yesterday that if you give me an option and say either the manager stays and the players go, or the players stay and the manager goes, everybody will say the players go, players go, players go. Because that's inevitably what they want. They want the players to go. And because the players is there, and Ten Hag had so many injuries where he couldn't choose his players. Remember, the biggest issue Liverpool had last season was when Dijk getting injured. Right? Again, this season, we look at United and we saw Sandro Martinez got injured, and we weren't able to put a centre-back partnership for 5 games. Literally 5 games. So, facts. We need to get rid, bro. We need to say Rashford, brother. Look here, fantastic player. Rashford, fantastic player. 80 million. Let's go. Who want you? All right? You're not going to a Premier League club. We can talk to PSG. We can talk to Barcelona. We can talk to Real Madrid. We can talk to Bayern Munich. We You can talk to the yellow people. Don't talk here because Manita. Right? We're not selling here. But Maguire needs to go. McTominay needs to go. Lindelof needs to go. Wan-Bissaka needs to go. Luke Shaw needs to go. Um Rashford needs to go. Where's more? Martial, okay, Martial is going. Varane needs to go. Casemiro needs to go. Now I don't want to sell Casemiro, but I found it recently. His legs is not what he used to be. So yeah, guys, that's my opinion. That's where I'm standing. The future looks peak. The future looks peak, and I mean, I think that was a nice way to end it off now. Because yeah, the manager looks like he's staying. They're planning for next season with the manager. Next season, I would like to challenge for the league. Yes, I said it. I would like to challenge for the league. Um, I do think that we two centre backs away, two centre backs away and a left back away from challenging for the league. I think we have a good enough striker. I think we have good enough wingers. I think whoa, we need a midfielder. Whoa, we need midfielders, bro. We need like two midfielders, and we need a bench also, man. Ooh, we need a lot. We need a lot, bro. We need a lot. Oh my days. I literally say we defense away, but look here. I see what you're saying, no, with regards to the Debo, no. But now my thing is, no, if you're gonna bring in the Debo, then like, what about Braithwaite? I like Braithwaite. Braithwaite have had Premier League experience, but Braithwaite also got skinned by Isaac. Isaac actually skinned him. So also the Debo is giving Saliba, you know. Now I don't know if he's a B-Tech Saliba or if he's of an ilk. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not comparing the Debo to Saliba, but I'm just saying it's giving Saliba vibes, you know. And you know how long Saliba took to get in Arsenal's team, so that's interesting. But yeah, a Braithwaite, Everton struggling, a Braithwaite, Onana, two Onanas in the team. Two Onanas, what could go wrong? Oh, what could go wrong, bro? Two Onanas in the team. I mean, if Everton's having problems, give them 60 million for two. You want to sell players? You need to give me two players. Give me 60. Give me Onana. Give me um what's the price name? Braithwaite. This is a good question. This is a good question. Quality, no doubt. Yes, come. Quality, yes, come. Immediately. Injuries, though. Injuries. It's peak. Injuries is peak. You can cook, bro. Honestly, you can cook. Right? He will probably start on the left on the right side for us. And you have a wonderful left foot. Can take free kicks, can cross the ball, can make chance for Ireland. No problem. All right. From that perspective, 100% buy him. But I mean, if he's only gonna play 15 to 20 games out of a 60-game season, what are we getting? What are we getting? I would say that, no, I would agree with you because we're terrible in transfers, but the fact of the matter is that um we have better ownership now. We have Omar Barari who knows how to do transfers, and Everton is in trouble. They are literally in trouble. So we can come and say, look, we want Braithwaite, we want Onana. We're willing to help you with regards to your fair play situation because you keep getting deducted points. I don't think you want to be deducted points again, do you? Do you? Do you? Exactly. So give us that players. It's good that your new CEO is coming. Wait, it's good that your new CEO is coming from us, and he's a master negotiator. Oh yeah, he's support City, no? Yeah. So FA Cup final is going to be crazy. You must come if we win. Huh? Don't go either way because I'll be here. Win or lose, I'll be here. I'll be here. But anyway, Tapelo, very nice chatting to you, my bro. Everybody in the chat, that was everybody that's watching. Again, if you're not live, if you are live, drop a comment after the video, like the video, subscribe if you're new. We're on the road to 100k subscribers. It's a long road, but long walk to freedom happened. Nelson Mandela went to jail for 27 years, and now we're in New South Africa 30 years later. So anything is possible, guys. It's only impossible until someone does it. Do something liquor. Enjoy yourself. Love your family. Love you. Love your God. Have a good one. I am out. Peace.